Ahoy! Today is the 23rd of August 2019 and I've just got back from the hospital. Today is a special day for a number of reasons, a couple of reasons. The first is that today is my 4th rebirth day. So on the 23rd of August 2015 I suffered a cardiac arrest while at home asleep, and Sasha, my beautiful, lovely wife, gave me CPR and brought me back to life. And so it's a bit of a celebration of that. And the chain of care that I then received from the paramedics through to the team at the ICU, to the team at the Claydon ward, and off to then Papworth to have my ICD fitted, and then my recovery home through the cardiac rehabilitation team based out of Stowmarket, who I've then made friends with, a number of those people through that journey, and so it's a bit of a celebration of all of that. The other reason that it's a bit of a special day is that today was my first treatment of chemotherapy. Today is the first day. I love my job. I really enjoy what I do, and I don't know where else I could do the job that I do if I wasn't working at Amazon. I really love doing my job, and so it's really difficult for me to say I'm not able to do my role as effectively as I need to for the customers that I work for. A decision was made this time last week that I was going to go on sick leave, and it was a really difficult decision because I actually still felt like I was pretty compos mentis at that time, and even into Monday I thought I was probably okay. Looking back, I was not okay, and as much as I think I'd like to have continued to stay working, I think that that my boss and the HR team made the right decision of saying, you know, you're off work now. Today is the first day that I've properly felt like, if I wasn't already not working, today is the first day that I would call in sick. This morning I felt really rough. My throat was very dry, feeling quite sick, and then going in for the chemotherapy was actually okay. Again, trying to keep my spirits kind of high, just to get it done, get it done and out of the way. But now I'm home. It's a weird sense of feeling nauseated. They're giving me some anti-sickness medication, so I guess that's kind of knocking it a little bit, but I still don't feel quite right. There's something not quite right. There's a bit of wobbliness and I feel very tired. So for those of you that don't know what chemotherapy is, I'm going to give as much of a layman's explanation as I can without causing too much confusion. So chemotherapy is a type of cytotoxin that attacks or stops the cells from dividing. So naturally your body, you know, all the cells in your body are regenerating all the time. They're dividing and dying in this sort of cycle, and the stages of that that replication, that cell replication, they go through 4 stages. And the idea of chemotherapy is to stop that replication. It stops the cancer cells from replicating. The problem is that it also stops all your healthy cells from replicating as well, which is why they start feeling sick. And there are 4 stages of cell regeneration, and so we need to provide that chemotherapy for a duration of time so that we catch every cell, every cancer cell at every single stage of that regeneration cycle. So I am going to get worse, I'm going to get more tired, I'm going to get more sick, but the idea being that complemented by the radiotherapy, we are targeting all the cells in my body with the chemotherapy, and specifically we're targeting the cancer cells in my tonsils using the radiotherapy. So that's what is happening, and the way it's delivered is quite strange. So the way it's delivered is that they initially give me a litre or so of saline into an IV in my arm, and that's just to hydrate me. The chemotherapy that they give, which is the cisplatin chemotherapy I'm having, can damage the kidneys, or it's a really sort of heavy weight on the kidneys, and so it's important to keep the kidneys flushing through. So they preload with a lot of water initially, and they ask that you drink a lot of water as well, and that you have to prove that you've then passed urine, and once you've passed sufficient urine they can then move on to giving you some anti-sickness medication. So up to that point it's about an hour and a quarter, hour and a half of sort of just getting ready, and then they hook you up for the actual chemotherapy, which lasts about an hour. The first half an hour, possibly the first sort of 40 minutes, I didn't really feel any different, and it was only the last sort of 20 minutes that I started to feel a little bit wobbly, it just slightly different. I can't really put my finger on what it was. There's sort of a warm sensation in my chest. That could just be me making it up, but that's the sensation that I got. And then I've now got quite dry mouth. So then once that's happened, they give you another flush of saline to wash that through. And they've given me some medication to take home. So they've given me some steroids. So I've got 3 days worth of steroids to take, which I start tomorrow morning. And they've also given me one very quick dose of anti-sickness medication, which I think I start the first one this evening, and the first pill of that I start this evening, and then they've also given me a longer course of if and as and when you need, so I've got 28 days worth of that. They said, given the fact that I wasn't very well on over the weekend, last weekend, that I should probably just take that. It's a good idea. So that's probably what I'll do. While I was receiving my chemotherapy, one of my friends, Sandy, came by and very kindly delivered 2 ice poles or ice sticks, I don't know what you call them really. Anyway, just to soothe my throat, she came by and delivered a nice lemon one and a strawberry one, so thank you for that, Sandy. That was very kind of you to drop by. Also, a friend of mine called Duncan kindly recommended a movie to watch while I was getting my chemotherapy, so I watched The Dawn Wall. I'm not into climbing really. I quite enjoyed climbing at Center Parcs, but that's about as good as it gets. But boy, it's really gripping. I recommend it to anybody that's really going through anything difficult or hard at the moment. It's a really uplifting story of how through physical and emotional difficulty you can still achieve the impossible. It's very genuine. It's not, what I hate to say, but it's not Americanized, it's not sort of woo-yah. It's very, very grounded, it's very honest, and yeah, it's exactly what I needed. So thank you, Duncan, for recommending that, and I recommend it to everyone here as well. I'll put a link in the description below so that you can go and watch that on Netflix. Some people have asked why it is I'm wearing this little shawl. So the reason is that the radiotherapy is going to damage both the tissue inside my neck and throat. It's going to stop my saliva glands and generally dry everything up. But it's also going to damage the surface tissue, so it's going to damage the skin on the outside. So it's really important that I keep the sunlight off the skin to stop it damaging my my skin before the radiotherapy gets a chance to do its job. I'm not allowed to shave this area, so I'm not shaving at the moment. and I have to apply some non-perfumed moisturiser as well, to try and recover those areas of skin that are going to be affected. At the moment it isn't sore right now, but apparently it will begin to feel like I've got a bit of sunburn on those areas of the skin that will be touched by the radiotherapy. And so after that I then moved over to radiotherapy. It's important to have the radiotherapy following the chemotherapy. So I met up with Dale, who is an awesome radiographer, as you've seen in previous videos, and we had a bit of a chat. He's also explained that the letter that I received yesterday regarding seeing a dietary nutritionalist-y person actually is going to be, that particular meeting is going to be cancelled, and we've got a different set of meetings. One is just sort of to go through what's going to happen. The second one is to fit the peg, or he called it a rig. So I don't know if those are two different things or if they're the same thing, but we'll find out at that first session. So I think the rig is being fitted on the 5th of September, and I think the meeting that we've got is on the 2nd of September. So that's the schedule for that. So then I had the radiotherapy, different team, same machine, different team. So we went through that very quickly. We got all sort of, I mean, basically all the areas where they now put the sticky dots on are basically now waxed. So I've got a sort of polka dot chest at the moment. And then after that had finished, we were done there in about 20 minutes. And after that was done, I called a friend to come and pick me up. Nicola very kindly came and picked me up. And so now I'm home. I got home at about 4:30, little after 4:30. It's a lovely summer's day, and tomorrow I'm hoping I feel good enough to go, if not to run at Parkrun. I should think probably Sasha won't be very happy about that, but we'll play it a little bit by ear. I would like to go. I would like to try and stay on top of my fitness as much as I can, because I know that I'm going to be on a bit of a downhill fairly soon. And then later on Saturday I'm going to see my brothers for their 40th birthday, well, their second 40th birthday party. There are twins, so we'll let them get away with it. And also it's my brother Peter and his wife Vicky's, it's their wedding anniversary, so we're going to go and celebrate that on Saturday. Sunday we're not sure yet. We've got a couple of plans that may happen or might not happen. I'm not going to stick my hand in the air and say yes, this is what's going to happen, because I honestly don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. So we'll play it a little bit by ear. My wife's sister Anne has come over to stay with us, to come and help out and do a few little chores around the house. So that's really kind of her to come and stay with us. She's going to be leaving on Sunday, and I think my son Max is coming back this evening, also to come and maybe help out a bit. We'll see. So that's it for now. I'll try to make some more updates probably after the bank holiday Monday. If you do have any questions, just drop some comments below and I'll try to answer. Otherwise, I'll catch up with you soon.